Allow me to reintroduce myself. I am a prolific, so gifted young black creative excellence that will not be outwitted by any man feeling that he be with it. The cause. See, when I first stepped on the mic, I was Christian Illmatic. That means even then my people could see that I live like a man about to instantiate change. And to me, that name fits perfect. But before the genesis of my mental metamorphosis, my mindset was this: life's a bitch, so my only option in life was to get famous and rich because I thought that would fix any problem, stitch any tear. Hell, I thought that would even stop the problem before they got there. But then one day I sat down and had a convo with my OGs, Mom and Pop. And they let me know that despite what the media made display about my people, I am greatness. Moms told me that the world is yours, so if you want something, you do what you gotta do to get it, and you never take less. When it came to talks, Pops was never the best, but he showed me how to represent. So even if I'm unarmed and exposed, I'ma walk into any room like I'm strapped with a 12-gauge shotgun and a bulletproof vest on under my clothes. I look around at all the celebrities that I once admired and realize most of them scream one love, but it ain't hard to tell that half the time they don't even have the time to care about our lives. At the age of 17, I realized I am a conqueror. When I took that trip to the Big Apple and had people ask why my state of mind was so far beyond his years, I just look at him and smile. Because I know that I'm the exact thing that grind set gives. A young black man that they can't manipulate. You see, because their catalyst of control is hate. I gave that shit up years ago. I am the agent of change. Although too many of my people believe me to be the antagonist, I wish for more light. So I pray about it first and then go set it in motion with hope as my only drive and emotion. But before I do that, I gotta make sure we taking large and meaningful steps. And I know that's hard to do, especially when they standing on your shoe. But you tell whoever stepping on your toe, B, I am Kunta. Bitch, I cut this whole leg off and still make it to my destination. Because you wanna hold me and you wanna hold me. See, I promised my family I wouldn't end up like my homie. Dead at 17 because he got involved in some deep shit. A dumb motherfucker playing with a gun, not a toy. Let me tell you about the time we were sitting in the park. It was about 12 o'clock. So sunset had happened hours ago and left us with nothing but dark. So spark up a combo and asked what he wanted to be. Pitch black outside, but I can still hear the pain in his fake smile when he answered. Happy and alive. That's when I realized we all searching for inner peace. But we all got to take a deep dive into ourselves to find it. At least one time for your mind, not for mine. But then, when you're done, come join the cause and reintroduce yourself to the world as a prolific, so gifted, creative excellence. I'm Illmatic. Thank you.
This piece was inspired by William and his experiences. At this point, Will is just in school. 8 periods a day, 8 to 3. While he's in school, we have brothers on the street still on block schedule. The aftermath of no after class is residual. They end up doing time for not having the time to sit and grow and let their light shine. They begin to wilt. But this isn't new to William. Day to day, he bears witness to this. Hell, not even Will's convinced that school projects are the way out of the projects. What's special about William's story is that it isn't unique. Opposite of special. He's one of many in a minority where this reality is the majority, and his take on what it means to be him is different from how the majority view his minority. They hear what a black man can do, not see what a black man can do. They hear what a black man is, not see what a black man is. Quick to dismiss a black girl, yet late when they miss a black girl. Love to command a black girl, hate to at least stand a black girl. It's crazy, but not the worst of it. See, there are 3 kids Will knew from the block. The 3 of them were tight just like Ed and Eddie. Old White only saw Dread and Dreddy, and a slip-up led to Dead and Eddie. One killed, other in a cell. Last one had his mind distilled. This would burn into Will's psyche as he tries to stay strong. But in his attempts to conform, his mental fortitude begins to contort, and with no retort, he is driven to his last resort. He just deals with it. He deals with the lies, injustice, and pain, unable to express what he's experienced. Will is only 16, but his soul and eyes appear to be 30. It's sad to tell him that when they say all lives matter, it didn't mean Brianna's life mattered. That when they continue to lie, it still doesn't matter. As he only grows matter, there is a toxin growing in him, reminiscent of an adder. And it's sad to say, but that's the end of chapter 1.
Bro,
Hard now. Got you. All right. I pray for the day that my son say he wants to be a rapper. I say, nah, son, it ain't that easy. I want you to go to Tuskegee, contemplating thoughts of college puts fear in him. Oh, he says he's sick with this. I told him, America will spread that mainstream ass rap like syphilis. This ain't gonna be the first Tuskegee experiment. Disregard your DNA. They only care to record sales. You can't even be the master of your own music or your record sales. They simplified Motown records, then gentrified Motowns while wrecking your community. Communion couldn't free. They cut the circulation of our children. Nah, they ain't crippin', they ain't getting enough blood to the brain. No wonder why we got blue-faced babies coming out the womb as born sinners in this cold world while eating from the forbidden fruit. Them niggas trying to turn Huntsville to Dreamville. They trying to narrate a tale of two cities. Son, you too litty. My son think he got a hot 16, but I'm like, let me show you how I do this, dude. New to you. America got colors boxed in like a Rubik's Cube, a cubicle. Fed meds that they claim pharmaceutical. Then we cop a gun and we spaz out. White women see me on the block and then they bad like a minute before my class out. Oh, you wanna grow up with a little shoddy. Oh, you want a big boat, a little yachty. Well, real niggas get votes, political party. My son ain't even thought of this. Nah, his father should have taught him this. These scholarships to protect schools only come if you party with politics, and that's all the risk. But you want the hardest risk when that protect moves, when yo St. Laurent and St. Laurent can't save Lauren. Oh, that's your shorty. See, I go to A&M, the Hill. So ask how Lauren feels when that rap money ain't going back to the school and her daughter receiving a miseducation on Lawrence Hill. I told my son, he gonna give his black Barbie queen keys to becoming her own cash dog, no matter the class he in. Never take the cash from him, defend himself, keep a K on his table like potassium. Nah, these elements weren't taught in our broken school system. I told my son he gonna get that HBCU wisdom. Always keep a major metal piece in case these minors wanna get mechanical like MEN. Meanwhile, y'all couldn't even spell, man. I told my son to advise from the distractions of pussies and cats, cause his attitude to get real aggy, play the game like it's real laggy. My son's inheritance couldn't prepare for this, so I pray for the day that my son say he wants to be a rapper. And to that I say, nah, son, it ain't that easy.
Poetic Justice.
Mama said, smile. Now, I know it's just a simple picture, but have you ever thought about the fact that these words precede the creation of an immortal? Or that the beginning of an eternity is not a big bang, but sometimes has no flash, and sometimes you create multiple eternities trying to perfect one into something worthy of sitting among other photos in an album? And that's crazy, but sometimes it can be kind of frustrating, especially if you're in the picture. Like me, I've never really liked taking photos. I've tried to force myself to, but most of the time I've ended up looking like a McDonald's Happy Meal, which is to say if you look inside both, you can see how artificial everything is. Every photo of me, from the present to age 7, is a procession marching to the moment I buried my picture-perfect smile. It makes me question, what does it mean to say I'm not photogenic? Like, it's the beautiful picture of me stuck behind the mirror on the camera in a photo negative zone where the space is black as my face is black, my smile bright but burning up as a contact lens crossing the atmosphere until the crash lands on the surface of my iPhone screen. What does it even mean to be photogenic? Because I've begun to wonder if it's not just psychological, or the physiology of how photography affects a black body if as a black person in America. Maybe my beauty as the subject of a photo is predicated on how I've been shot, mugged of my shine. Maybe I can only look right when I'm looking right, or if my background were less bile, but still in vogue, the set instead invoking how the twilight breaks dawn until the sun rises completely and shows me how I'll never show up in the picture the way I want to. Not when so many people behind me have slept in coffins. It's the same moment when you realize you're too dark for death, but you're not. Sometimes you can fall through the frame they've made for you and come out looking more wise and smiling, and sometimes not, but that's just the nature of photography, right? Some of us become takes that are never given back. The photo shoot was the last time we saw you before your breath got photoshopped. The camera found out that we are not all as unbreakable as the Black Panther made of vibranium, and it's crazy thinking how many situations throughout history where you can find the same instance occurring if you just look deep enough. How many Black Panthers swore they'd never freeze but never moved again became the ultimate description of pose, like Fred Hampton. You see now how they're trying to make his life into a motion picture, but first they had to turn his bedroom into a red room when he got overexposed. The ultrasound heard that night provided the perfect image of how his unborn child would be born, fatherless, but that and the socialism is unlikely to make the final cut of the film. Black history is often not as photogenic before the whitewash, so we have to watch them sharecrop out the imagery, history around our body. They define photogenic as looking attractive on camera, and biologically as emitting or producing light. Both suggest that at the moment a camera has flashpoint, you can turn into something beautiful. The paradox is, if you're Black, you absorb light, reflecting 50 shades darker than everything else around you. Our history tells us that we are universal pictures. No names promise to live forever in a day and a date and a snap. We've seen how Black women became daughters of the dust. As a whole, Black people, we are trapped beneath this world's filter. We are Polaroids, ancient. We've crash landed on this world from a different one, and now we find ourselves constantly shaking things up just to get sane before we disappear completely. Yesterday, I took a selfie. I asked it, what does it mean to be photogenic? It asked me back. I said that I still have no answers. Only that we are not made in the image of their God. And if the whole world had a panoramic view, we would still be missing. So I offer this smile to be broken into awkward pieces as I try to avoid capture. I recall all the times Mama said, smile. And I wish I had the words to tell her then that as many eyes are on me following this skin, I would much rather just stay out of focus.